More tributes today honoring the life and legacy of civil rights champion Congressman John Lewis. Michelle Miller is in Atlanta.
All across Atlanta, worshipers at church services remembered the late congressman, one of the legendary figures of the civil rights movement.
John has been our congressman for 34 years.
Former UN Ambassador Andrew Young marched with Lewis and Dr. King.
John Lewis is one of the quietest, most humble leaders that has ever lived. He seemingly doesn't have any ambition but to serve.
You have a moral obligation to set something, to do something.
For many here and across America, Lewis left a lasting impact.
The quote of him saying, "Let's get into some good trouble," is activating a generation. Activating a generation that wants to get involved and say, hey, this is wrong. I'm going to stand up for it. And I'm going to stand up for it loudly. I'm going to stand up for it proudly.
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell.
I mean, he spent his whole adult life fighting these issues and going after racism. And so a man with that kind of bravery built into him is an incredible individual, and he was. And I think what we'll always be remembering is what he did for our nation, what he did for our people.
Major, there is a candlelight vigil set here at the John Lewis Memorial Mural, but already there are calls to rename the Edmund Pettus Bridge after him as well. As you remember, it was on that bridge in March of 1965 that he led protesters across from Selma to Montgomery as they were fighting for their voting rights. So they were met with opposition from law enforcement, and it is that moment that became known as Bloody Sunday.
Michelle, with Congressman Lewis's passing, the question looms: what does it mean for the continuing fight for racial and social equality in America right now?
Lewis was an incredible ally to the next generation, whether it was with immigration or gun control or gay rights. He was the man who was always willing to reach across some other movement and bring people forward, whether it's in technique or ability. He had this incredible sense of mentorship, and the hope is that there will be others who come along and fill his shoes.
Michelle Miller, thank you so very much.